My ex is calling me emotionally abusive. His exact words, in a text I've now read about 40 times. Emotionally abusive, because I asked my own daughter to stop calling another man dad. Okay, background because it matters. My name is Claire. My daughter is Maya, she just turned 7. Her father and I split up when Maya was 3. It was mutual, mostly civil, no big blow up. We did the mediation thing, we worked out a custody schedule, we genuinely tried to be decent about it, and for a while we were. He met someone named Patrick about a year after we separated. I want to be clear, I have nothing against Patrick. He's kind to Maya. She lights up when she talks about him. I have watched that man sit on the floor and build entire cities out of Lego with her for 2 hours straight, and that counts for something. It really does. I'm not the villain who hates the new guy. I want that on the record before I tell you what I did. I have been solo since the divorce. I date here and there, nothing serious, nobody has met Maya. I work full time, I have Maya 4 days a week, and honestly, my life is fine. Quieter than I expected, but fine. So the setup is loving co-parenting situation, two adults who mostly get along, one happy little girl who has two homes. That's the world before this blew up. It started about 2 months ago. Maya came home from her dad's on a Sunday afternoon, and she was chattering about the weekend the way she always does, what they had for dinner, what movie they watched. And then she said, completely offhand, Patrick said I can call him dad if I want. Just like that. I kept my face very neutral. I said, oh yeah, what do you think about that? And she shrugged the way 7-year-olds shrug, like it was nothing, like it was just a word. She said, I think I want to. I told her we'd talk about it, and I left it there. Inside, I was not neutral. I called my sister that night and I said some things I won't repeat here, but I kept it away from Maya. A few days later, she started using it, just casually in conversation. Dad and Patrick picked me up, meaning her dad and Patrick. I froze the first time I heard it. I didn't say anything that day, but after the third or fourth time, I sat her down. I kept it gentle, I kept it calm. I said, hey, you know how you have a dad and that's your real dad and he loves you? I just want to make sure that's clear for you because that's something really special. She looked at me like I was being weird. She said, I know daddy is my real dad. Patrick is just Patrick dad. And I said, and this is the part people have opinions about, I said, I'd really love it if you could just call him Patrick, just for now while you're still figuring things out. She didn't cry, she said okay, that was it. Except it wasn't because later that week she mentioned it to her dad. And he texted me. The text was long, very long. It said Patrick had been in her life for 3 years, that she came to him on her own, that it was her choice and I had no right to override it. It said, and this is the line I keep coming back to, you're doing this because you're threatened. And that's not Maya's problem to manage. I wrote back. I said I was her mother, and I had every right to have a conversation with my own child about something that's significant. I said he could have consulted me before telling a 6-year-old she could rename a parental figure. He said I was controlling. I said he was replacing me without even realizing it. He said no one was replacing anyone. It went around like that for a while. Here's the thing I have to be honest about. I didn't just ask her once. About a week after that first conversation, Maya slipped and said Patrick dad again, and I corrected her. In the moment, right there at dinner. She looked a little embarrassed, and I caught myself immediately. I said it was fine, I moved on, but I had done it twice now. And my sister, who I thought was on my side, said to me, Claire, you need to be careful. You're not protecting Maya. You're protecting something for yourself. That landed hard. I didn't sleep well that night. Because here is the true thing I don't love admitting. It does bother me that she has a Patrick dad, and I am just mom and there is no equivalent on my side. And I can't fully untangle how much of my reaction is about Maya's emotional clarity and how much of it is about me sitting in my apartment on Thursday nights while she is at Derek's building Lego cities with a man who gets a parental name I don't have a version of. Her dad texted again a few days ago. He said Patrick had quietly started pulling back from Maya because he didn't want to cause tension, that he'd stopped initiating the name, that Maya had noticed and asked why, and that he didn't know what to tell her. He said, you got what you wanted. And I wanted to say that is not what I wanted. That is the opposite of what I wanted. I don't want Maya confused. I don't want Patrick distant. I didn't want to be erased. Was that so wrong? My sister says I should have never said anything to Maya and gone straight to him. He says I had no right to say anything at all. And I'm sitting here genuinely not knowing which of them is right. A few weeks later, Maya came home and didn't mention Patrick at all. Usually she talks about him at least once. I almost brought him up myself just to make it normal again, and then I didn't, because I didn't know how to do it without it being a whole thing. That's where we are. A little girl who used to talk about someone she loved and now doesn't. A man who pulled back because he was trying to be respectful, and me, who maybe caused all of it trying to protect something I couldn't even name clearly. So I need you to tell me, was I protecting my daughter or was I protecting myself? And is there even a difference when the kid is the one who ends up quieter? Am I the problem here? Honestly, though, what would you have done? Comment below.